welcome guys, Space Invaders. Here's where we left off last time. We have a ton of stuff to cover. We got to build enemies, like we need to shoot them, and we got to do waves. We're going to do waves so lots of new guys can come out. And I'm going to show you how to randomize it. I'll just be doing it with one image, but you'll see how to customize it. And hopefully it'll all make sense. Of course it will. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to create a new function. So I'm going to create a function named waves. And in this function, we need to know two things. I want to know what image you want to use and how many of them are we creating. Okay, so here is our function. It's just set up nice and easy. Let's come up here and say, all right, I'm going to create a set timeout interval actually. Make the person open the game and say, what is going on? No one's here. And then after 1 second, they all appear. Okay, so this is how you call a function. So we have waves, and then I need to go images, enemy3.png, and let's just say we're going to pass 20. Alright, so let me save that, and after a second, this code runs, and this code makes this function run. So we're going to say var enemy equals new sgs.image, and what image are you going to have? I'm going to just use whatever image we pass. Right now we're passing this one. Okay, so let me go enemy.type equals enemy. Enemy.setWidth equals 50, and oh, that's good. Let's just make sure all this works. So if I'm going to save it and refresh, and boom, after a second he pops up. Perfect. Now we're going to have a lot of enemies. We don't just want one, and we're going to need to control all of them and have them have similar movement. So let's go ahead and make an empty array right now. We're going to call it enemies plural. And then come on back down here and let's create a for loop. And this for loop is going to be interesting. I hope you are ready for some math. So as long as I is less than amount, and I'm going to show you something cool, so be ready. Okay, so we're going to get into some serious math. Alright, so now it's going to make however many we pass, right? And if I were to go like this is just for a demo. Let me go move to I and 50. Okay, so if I save it, now remember I is different every time it makes this enemy. It starts at 0, but it goes up by 1 all the way to amount, which is 20, so it's going to give us 0 to 19. So if I refresh, voila, nothing happens. Did I get an error? Let's see what happened. No, it doesn't say there's any errors. It's got to be less than the amount. I do that every time I make a for loop. Voila, there they are. Now look how they're offset a little bit, right? So these are offset because I is increasing by 1, so they're 1 pixel to the right every time you make an enemy. Okay, and that looked a little bit too far down, so I'm going to go 25. So what we want to do is I'm actually going to make this number bigger. I'm just going to times you by 50. And rather than increasing by 1 each time, we're going to increase by 50 each time. What that allows me to do is then say, okay, well let's move to I. So now if I save it and go ahead and refresh, boom, there they are all lined up. Now I don't want them all lined up, let's do 2 rows, okay? So this is where it gets a little bit tricky, and I'm probably going to mess this up. But if we said I, okay, so if the amount times 50 divided by 2 is less than I, then run this code. Okay, so this will give us half of them. This is half of the spaceships created. Get this code. The other half will get this code. Enemy.move to, and we need to start them back at the beginning. So I'm going to move them to 0, 0, and then I'm going to offset it, and I'm going to offset it by I minus. You'll have to do this in your head. This is how it works though. We'll go 75. So let me save and refresh, and then I'll show you that code. And boom, it did not work how I expected it to. So let's see what I did wrong. So here we have enemy.move to I 25, and then we're moving to 0, 0, and we're offsetting it by that amount. Okay, and wouldn't you know it, it is my condition again. So this is getting when I is greater than that, so the second half, so I'm only getting the second half, that was a mess. Okay, so let me switch this around. So when this is larger than I, so now when I hit refresh, there we go. we got our spaceship in 2 nice rows, and they are ready for action. Okay, so what we need to do next is get them moving. So here's our for loop, and I expect that you pause the video anytime if you want to look through the code and get in your head. I want to build this for you though. So this is a little bit different for loop. So we're going to say for j in enemies. So this is a way to do a for loop that just has j go through and get set equal to every one of the objects inside of this array. And what we want to do is go enemies j dot push right, and let's push them by 3. So this will just push them all by 3. The for loop code runs first, and then this code runs and nothing happens. But let's go ahead, we got to do a couple of different things. Let's go enemy.friction equals 0. Okay, and I already know I'm going to need enemy.nobounds equals true. Let's save and refresh this. And why didn't they move? They should have moved. Okay, the reason that they have not moved is because we have not put all of the things that we've created into the enemy array. So in the enemy array, we want to push all the enemies. Now we will save and refresh, and boom, there they are, and off they go. Okay, so what we want to do next is make them not leave the game because they're scared. But instead, we want to create a little on hit. Okay, so I'm going to come right here, right below the other on hits, trying to keep this organized. We're going to go sjs.onHit, and this is an on hit between the enemy and the right screen, okay, and that's going to create a function. And what we're going to do, we're going to have x represent the enemy, y represent the right screen, and we're going to make, so we're going to stop them so they play nice, and then we're going to go dot move to your same location in the x direction, but your x dot y, let's add 50 to it. And then we need to push them the opposite direction. So now we need to push them left. So we better do by 3 or else they'll catch up. Okay, and we would do the exact same thing for the other side. So now we're going to go left screen, and then this will be push right. All right, let's see if they're moving. So if we go save, refresh, they come on the screen, off they go, and now when they hit that wall, they're moving, and they're going inside of each other, but that's okay. They're just moving one row at a time. If we didn't stop them, they would actually not, let me show you what I mean. So if we took away this stop, save, refresh, now they're going to hit that wall, and they're going to, shift like that. Which maybe you want that, maybe you don't. It's up to you. You can download the code and make it your own. Okay, so we have the enemies. They are moving. Now, let's make sure we can shoot them. Okay, so shooting an enemy is pretty easy. There's just one line of code we're going to add that you haven't seen. Now, what we're going to do is, okay, here's when the bullet hits the, let's just do this one. It looks the most similar to what we want. So I'm going to copy that, but I'm going to bring it down here so we have all the enemy code. So if an enemy hits a bullet, they both get destroyed. Now, we also need to take them out of the array. Now, we wrote a little function to do that. I think it's sjs.remove from array, and then you put the array name. I was trying to hit the down arrow. And then the object you want removed. So what happens is once we kill them, we need to take them out of the array because we're going to keep track of how many are left in the array. And when it's 0, we start the next wave. Now, all this does, I'm just going to do a little side thing right now. So this goes to the library, right? And we're running this remove from array. So let's open up the library. And if we type in remove from array. Okay, so it goes on. This is SJS, so we are removing from array, and it needs the array and the object. And it's just this for loop. So we could actually type in this for loop into our code, but I got sick of typing that in, so we made this little function. But basically, you loop through the whole array. You find out if the array, the one you're looking at, is the object you're looking for, and then you splice it out, and then you go backwards so that you can get the next item in the array. But so that's all that's happening. So let me close some of these. So the only thing that's happening is we have, we're just doing that in one little function. But so libraries can help you out. If there's a function you're using all the time and you're sick of writing it out, you can make a little function call into a library and it'll just take care of it. But that's what this is doing. Nothing secretive. You can go in the library and look at any of this stuff, these on hits, and go and find on hit in the library and see exactly how it works. It's just saving us time and allowing us to teach more concepts and logic. Okay, so the enemies are moving. We can now destroy them is our hope. I just realized I closed all the browser windows. So now if I come through here and say, you guys have no defense, and I'm gonna take you down. Oh, one got away. Oh, he won't get away this time. Don't go in that window. He went in the window. Okay, so we killed them all. Now they need to be able to attack us to make it a game, right? This isn't track. You can play defense. All right, so what we're going to do is it's going to come right in here, this location. Okay, so in this spot, what I'm going to do is, let me adjust. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a random spaceship in the array and have him fire. I'm sure there's a million different ways to do this, but this is the way that I decided to show you. So here, or to do this demo on. Okay, so we're going to create an interval function that runs, I don't know, every 750. I'm not sure how far to do it. And then I'm going to make a pick. And this variable named pick, it's just going to go math.random times enemies.length. And there we go. It's going to randomly pick one, right? So now what we need to do is just go ahead and create the bomb. So let's go new sjs.image. We're going to go images, and it is our bomb.png. Okay, so now let's go through and do all the normal stuff that we need to do. So we're going to give it a type. Now there will be one thing that we need to mess around with. So bomb.setWidth is going to be, I don't know, let's make it 15, I guess. Let's see, bomb.moveTo. So what we need to do is we need to move it to enemies pick, so whichever one we did, .x, and we probably have to move it sideways a little bit. And then in the y direction, whichever one we pick, in the y direction, I don't know, plus 25. Okay, so now we need to make sure it has no friction, and we need to make sure the bomb can be pushed down. I don't know how hard to push it. That might be too slow. But it is a bomb. It's not going a million miles an hour. So we're going to push it down. Let me think if there's anything else. We probably just need to have it go out of the screen so it doesn't sit there. All right, let's see what happens. So if we save and refresh. Oh, I did my image wrong. Ooh, those are some wicked bombs. Okay, so let's see what happened here. I did my image wrong. Is that not what it's called? Oh, I don't have anything called bomb. Oh, it's called missile. Okay, so missile, but we're gonna know it as a bomb. We're gonna have to keep that straight in our head. Oh, there's the bomb, the missile, and it's going the wrong way. It's supposed to be shooting up. Oh well. I can change that image around. Actually, you guys want to see me change that image around right now? If you don't, fast forward. Let's change that image around. Watch this. Oh, I already have one named enemy missile. I think I already have one. Enemy missile, save, refresh. Now let's see what happens. Oh, what did I do wrong? Oh, this enemy missile is spelled wrong. Alright, so now let's see what happens. Oh, that one's a joke. Okay, let's just fix it ourselves. So what we're going to do is I am going to fix this enemy missile. So if I come on the desktop, I think it's in my, yeah, here we go, Space Invaders, images, oh, missile, capital E. Anyway, what I would normally do is I would drag it in here, and I'd go image, transform, flip vertically, boom, and then save it. Looks like I did that. It's called missile E. Alright, GIMP's very useful for quick things like that. Okay, and hopefully I spelled missile right in that one. Missile, I did. And the capital E. So let's save. Now we'll refresh. Let's see what we get here. Boom, there we go. Oh, those are some daggers. Okay, So what we need to do, oh, see that? See what's happening there? We forget. Why would that be coming out of an array that does a guy that doesn't exist? That's not good. Let's make sure we did this code right. So that's what this was supposed to prevent. Was up here in this on hit, we have this SGS remove from array enemies, and look, I'm removing the bullet from the array. I don't want to remove the bullet. I want to remove the enemy. Oh, no wonder. Okay, so now if I come back in, let's kill a bunch of them, and they should only come out of spaceships that exist. Man, lots of good errors to learn in this video. There we go, smoked him. Okay, so what we need to do, it tried to make it right as he was dying. Okay, so what we need to do now is we just have a bunch of on hits to do. Okay, so we're going to create these on hits so that the bullet can interact with the game now. And that is going to be pretty easy. So if we come up here, we can probably just add it. So when the bullet hits the special, you know what? If the bullet or the bomb, need quotes, hits the special, then we want that to happen. If the bullet or the bomb hits a block, we want that to happen. And then for this, we're going to just go bottom screen. So now, if the bomb hits the bottom screen, we want it to be destroyed. Now let's go find the player. Okay, we're going to have to make this one. Let's make this one. I like copying and pasting. Okay, so now if we have the bomb hits the player, we're going to have the bomb get destroyed. Now let's say the player has some lives. Okay, so let's say y.lives minus minus. We need to create this property. That's right. Okay, so if I come up here and say, where are you, player? Here's my player. Oh, he already has it. I must have made it. Okay, so player.lives equals 3. And we'll come down here into our on hit. We're going to minus the lives. And then you just write a simple if statement and check every time. Is y.lives equal to 0? That's the question you're asking. And if so, then the player's dead. Actually, we could just do this. This is another destroy all. So now everything's going to be destroyed. If the player dies, we all go. It's probably a big bomb. And if we wanted, we could make a little button that says new sgs.button, and it will say play again. And then we will go create a function, and that function will window.location equals the name of the file, which is index.html, and let's center that button, and that should be good. Okay, so if I save this and refresh, there we go. You can see those swords are, I guess they're not swords, they're bombs. Oh, I want to get hit by one. There we go, 1 hit me. Missed it. Ooh, this game's hard to get hit. 2 hit me. And 3 hit me. Play again. Perfect. And it'll keep coming down. That's okay. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is let's keep track of our waves. We can kill them, they can kill us, but if I kill them all, nothing happens. And I should make the gun not go as fast. I'll do that later. Okay, so I kill them all, nothing happens. Let's go ahead and say, alright, when we shoot a player, okay, so we're removing it from the array. We need to also do this. If when the enemy hits the bullet, we remove it from the array. If enemies.length is greater than or equal to 0, less than. If it's less than or equal to 0, then let's call waves. Okay, let me see here. Where is that code? Then let's call waves. Okay. Now let's do this as well. Let's create a little variable up here that says var waves equals 1. Wave 1. We'll make that singular. Okay, so what I'm going to do is keep track of what wave you're on. And so I just thought of this, so I'm doing this live. So here we have waves right there. And let's go like this. Let's This is kind of our waves code here. So let's go like this, var wave text, come on, equals new sgs.text, and we're going to go wave plus wave, and we'll make that red, and then we'll go wave text dot right dot offset negative 25 and 5. All right, let's see if we have our, there we go. So we're on wave 1, right? Nice. Okay, so, oh, let's see if this works. So let me kill all these guys. My mouse keeps hovering over menu bar. There we go, and they come back out. Okay, we just need to update the waves. Okay, so what we're going to do is up where we shoot the enemy. Where is he? He's right here. Let's pass in 30 for the next one. And you could just keep increasing this. We could have a number and it would just get more and more waves. You can do different images. You can put a bunch of images in an array and grab a random one. There's tons of stuff you can do. So, but what we want to do is if that's true, then we want to go wave plus plus. That was the name of our variable, right? So this is line 200, so I know how to get back. Yes, wave singular right there. So then line 200. And then we're going to go wave text dot set text. We're going to update it, and it's going to say, where did I make the text at? Right here. I just wanted to grab this and put it in right here with only one set. Okay, so watch this. So if I save, we're at the finish line. Oh, my guy died. I got to kill all these guys. I'm going to make that missile smaller. It's too easy to see. We got him, and look, now we're on wave 2. Let me try and kill all these guys. And now we're on wave 3, and I am losing steam. I got to get out of here. Whoa! Oh, this will clear it out. Oh, I died, whatever wave I was on. And we could make the wave stay on this screen so you can see what wave you finished off on. But, so, pretty cool, eh? So I think we got it. I think we're there. I think we're done. You guys can download this code. You can customize it. You can make it say whatever you'd like. You can put in different enemies, get different things, or I mean like images for different enemies. But that's how we build some enemies and make them interact and do some waves. And look, waves is increasing every time. What I want to show you is, where do we call the next wave? So here's where we call the next wave, right? We could put another if statement right here and do if waves, and they have to do that, what, 2 times or something. And if waves equals 3, then something else happens. And or it would be wave, it would be singular. But then that way you can make different waves, have different types of enemies, different enemies. You could have different functions down here, but there's tons of stuff you can then customize, and that's how they build out these full games. They build it simple, and then they reuse that code and customize it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully that was helpful. Here is the game, and this is what it does. And I want to get that, and I want to mow these guys down. Oh, I was going to make that smaller. I just want to see real fast before I end the video. If I put this width to like 10. Yeah, I like that better. Man, those go fast. Those go really fast. But maybe we want it hard, I don't know. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed it. Visit us at Simply Coding. See the other videos we have. See the games kids have made. Come to our homepage. Try out a lesson. We have great content for kids to learn coding and gain this skill. Thanks, guys. Enjoy.